Great. Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Mr. Marinakis, I should call you Dr. Marinakis because this weekend he received an honorary degree from Massachusetts Maritime. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Doctor, you're in all sectors of the shipping industry except car carriers. Maybe that's next. I hope that in the limited amount of time that we have, we can cover all the sectors. So let's start with tankers. Do you believe in peak oil demand? And if you do, when do you expect this to happen? And how does it affect your investment decisions in the tanker sector?
We strongly believe in oil demand and the gas demand. And what we see recently is that all the AI technology and the chips, they need more energy and water. And I think that the energy and water, I can say, is becoming very valuable for the new world that is coming forward. So we are optimistic, and we think that the demand will be growing, and our tankers will play a significant role in the carriage of oil. And also we go a step further that we invest in dual-fuel LNG tankers because we believe that it's worthwhile to pay the premium. 20 million, 25 million, depends on the type of vessel. So we can protect as much as we can the environment as well.
Good. Well, recently, if you look at your tanker fleet, you've kept nearly 100% in the spot market as compared to getting some term coverage. Why?
Since I started in the industry, I think that one of the strong points were our commercial strength, and we do it ourselves, and also in many occasions we charter ships as well to cover COAs, to cover cargoes that we commitment. I used to do that when I first started in dry cargo, and having a company with a substantial number of vessels, I think that you should be able to do it yourself. And of course, in some occasions that we feel that we can have a period fixed with an oil major, with a major industry, we consider it. But just for the sake of it, no, we do it ourselves.
Do you think second-hand asset prices will rise? Are new buildings still attractive at today's prices?
I think that we have seen increases on prices, but if you compare them back with historical highs, still we haven't reached the top. Plus, I think that if someone studies the order book in tankers, especially on the bigger ones, they are underbuilt, and I think that the prospects are there, and from what we see from other sectors like containers, vessels, and also the bigger bulk carriers for the future, we think that the prices will be firm for the years to come, and we take a view that we are not there to face in the near future reductions in prices.
In your opinion, what will be the most effective propulsion fuel technology for tankers for the next, 10, 20 years?
What we need to consider first is if we choose LNG, if we choose methanol, ammonia, the infrastructure is there, the price of the commodity, and the safety. And from what we have seen so far, and according to experts' reports, we go for LNG. We think that is there, the infrastructure, most of it is there, and of course is cleaner from oil, and also as far as the propulsion and the engines are concerned, have been tested, and we see that it works.
Good.
So I find it more conservative to go for LNG right now than other.
Okay, let's turn to LNG now. So you have continued to invest in LNG new buildings as prices remain high, with an order book that is about 50% of the existing fleet. What makes you so bullish about LNG?
We see that there are a lot of projects that are there, have delayed, but eventually in 27, 28, 29, we'll see them coming up. Also, there are a number of turbine vessels still there trading that they should be replaced eventually. I think that this process has delayed, and I was expecting it to come earlier. But when markets make sense, it's difficult for an owner to scrap a vessel that still makes money or has a low value in the company's books. But we think that the difference in technology, in the speed consumptions, and in the overall calculation of carriage LNG with the new technology vessels makes a lot of sense. So I think that still prices make sense, take in consideration what the chartering market is, to invest more.
Well, you mentioned prices. Do you believe that prices will continue to climb, new building prices?
I think that, I don't know how, I think that I don't know how much more we can see them going up, but definitely I don't see them going down. So.
Okay. Your most recent orders offer XDF vessels. In your view, do you believe that there's a large difference between an XDF as compared to a MEGI and Mega?
That was long discussions and long studies we had when we entered the market back in 2018 on for which technology and model to go for. We went with the XDF, and so far it has worked. We are happy, and also will continue to do so.
You have bucked the trend of public LNG ship owners going private by placing your LNG carriers into the public market. What was the driver behind that decision?
You know, always we have been involved with capital markets over 17, 18 years. Even before that, we had been involved with, we had an attempt to go public back in 2005. We didn't accept the pricing at the time. But what we did is that, what I did is that I left the company with a corporate structure as it was. The only thing that was missing was to see the price on the screen. And of course, later on, we had a very successful IPO with CPLP. Then we had another one with crude carriers. Then we had a merger. Then we had a second merger with Diamond S, and then another one with International Seaways. So I'm always in favor of capital markets, and I think that being here in New York, NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, you have access to capital, and especially for vessels that substantial amounts of money needed to finance it. I think that we are in the right place, and I fully support it.
Let's move on to LPG and ammonia. You've recently ordered several mid-size LPG ammonia carriers. What was the case for ordering that size of vessel over, say, a very large ammonia carrier?
First of all, we started this that we ordered the first CO2 carriers of 22,000 cubics. And what we wanted to make sure is that until the time that the CO2 cargoes are there, to be able to trade the ship successfully as an LPG carrier or an ammonia carrier. So we designed the vessel to be able to do both. In the meantime, we saw that on the 40 and 45,000 size, it was underbuilt, and of course, with the new technology of dual fuel, was missing. So we considered that it was the right time to expand in this sector, and also we believe also in ammonia that is coming. But the first ammonia cargoes, they are smaller than larger because we have invested also in the larger ammonia carrier. And I think that we like the order book, and we like that we were also one of the first ones to order ships with a new technology of dual fuel, and for us, this makes a lot of sense.
What are your thoughts about ammonia as a marine fuel?
That's another interesting discussion and argument, because we have ordered, I think, the first very large ammonia carriers that will have ammonia engine, and still the yards, the manufacturers are trying to find the safest way and the safest method for these engines to work. We might have some delays, but eventually will be there. Is something with ammonia is very clean, but on the other hand, is a dangerous cargo that you need to be very careful. You need to try to protect the crew, and of course the yard and the engine manufacturers, they have a lot to do more in order to make sure that this can work. If it works, I think that will make a lot of sense.
Good. Let's move
it's a matter of time.
Good. Let's move on to containers. You are still expanding your container fleet. How do you view the future of that sector?
The future of the sector, I think that the carriage of containers, it's something that grows all the time. And what we saw is that there has been some sizes that they haven't been built for many years due to the fact that the market levels paid in chartering was extremely low. And some of them also, the 4,000 or 5,000 size vessels, they were even laid up because there was no demand. So this was the case for many years, over 10 years of a very depressed market. So we didn't have any new orders on this sector. So we think now that this is needed, and Of course, we went for a dual fuel. And that's why we went ahead with a large order recently.
Now we can turn to offshore. Yesterday, Mr. Keene, CEO of Tidewater, voiced his opinion that it was uneconomic to order a PSV because, among other reasons, the day rate required is much higher than can be secured in today's market. Given your recent order, 4 option with options, you obviously disagree. Would you care to comment?
First of all, I think that our industry is very exciting, and we enjoy it for some special reasons. I think the main one is that some people we see light in the tunnel, and some others we see darkness in the tunnel. Some of us are right, some of us are wrong. So this is exciting. So I respect all opinions, and we have our own. That means that we see some light in this sector, and we'll go for it, and we'll go on a larger scale.
Great.
But still, as I said, I respect everybody's opinion, and I'm glad that I have different opinion a lot of times, and that makes a difference.
That's it. Let's turn to the environment.
Yeah.
The oncoming regulations by the EU and the IMO for maritime emissions will increase the cost of delivering cargoes, especially to Europe. As a ship owner, how do you prepare to deal with these regulations? Are they mostly a hurdle or an opportunity? Will charterers be willing, that's a key question, will charterers be willing to pay for the extra cost involved?
Charterers and oil majors are not willing. Maybe we hear a lot of interesting discussions, announcements, speeches of how much we love our environment and we want to protect it. On the other hand, we haven't seen oil majors or major charterers pay for it. I think that eventually the market will allow for premiums to be paid. And on the other hand, what we are willing to do is if a charterer is not willing to pay for it, we can accept it, but in case is needed to trade with LNG and have a saving from the tariffs that you need to pay in order to carry goods in Europe, then we are quite happy to wait until we receive these premiums ourselves, because we are convinced that it's a matter of time for all this to happen. And that's why we're investing in this modern technology and dual fuel vessels, because we think that it's coming and will be there.
Now let's turn to some personal issues. You own over 130 vessels in all the various sectors that we discussed. I didn't touch upon bulk carriers because we'll run out of time. Excuse anyone in the audience involved in bulk, I apologize. In your opinion, which asset class offers you the best returns? And regardless, which sector do you really like the best?
So far, I think tankers have provided the best returns and are the type of vessels that I prefer, because we like shipping as a whole, and in our blood, shipping is a major component. So, but tankers we find it that is an exciting market with the up and downs, and especially during the crisis and when the markets fall, we try to take advantage of it and capitalize on it.
How do you effectively manage your time managing top-tier football, soccer teams, the media, as well as a fleet of ships that we just discussed?
I think football and shipping, but we spend most time. But the big love is shipping. Football is passion. So you need to balance in between.
But recently, the Wall Street Journal quoted you as saying that soccer is more fun than shipping. Was that correct?
It's more passionate and more excited sometimes. But as I said, the big love is shipping, and we enjoy it, and you can never be bored with it. And I recommend to everyone first to be involved in shipping and then in football. You have to make your money first and then to spend it.
But, okay, how does managing shipping executives compare with managing coaches and athletes?
It's much more difficult to manage football players because you see young kids that all of a sudden happened that they have scored some goals or they had some good performance, and out of nowhere they make millions. It's very difficult for these kids to control it and to behave properly. And on the other hand, you need to be patient enough to be able to cope with all of them and try to make successful moves. And at the end of the day, victories dictate the results. And irrespective of how well you perform, if you don't win, it's a failure. So you need to make sure that you either be patient, you either have to pay more or to find a way, let's say, to maneuver it in order to be able to compete at higher level. And what we have seen in football is that you have to compete now with Saudi Arabia, with Abu Dhabi, with Qatar, with big US funds that they are investing in shipping. So this makes it more exciting and more competitive. And us in shipping, we are used to it because when you enter into shipping, you have to compete with bigger companies and state companies. And from the very beginning, you need to be able to run faster, to be more competitive, to be stronger. It's a whole struggle that is unexciting.
Well, we have another minute left, so I'm going to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
Reflecting back on your career, do you have any regrets? Is there anything that you would do over or differently?
I have for sure more regrets than things that I haven't done than things that I have done. For sure, if you were able to bring the time back, some actions, they would be different, some behaviors would be different, but overall, I have no regrets. And at the end of the day, I think that we have been fair with people that we have done business. We have some very good friends, and we have done a lot of repeat business that has helped us to grow and to grow substantially. And I think that is very important for all of us, two things. First of all, to be able to build relations in shipping because it's a very small world and we know what everybody is doing. And also to be there to take responsibility when you take decisions and to support your people, your crew, and the decisions you make until you are successful.
We've run out of time, and join me in congratulating Dr. Marinakis.
Thank you.
Thank you.